Hello everybody, welcome to week 2 of our continuous learning for ELA. My name is Miss Cup and you will see on your screen I have several fantastic colleagues joining me every week to create these lessons for you. Hopefully one of those faces looks familiar from your school. This week we decided we want to delve into the idea of identity and who are we and how do we get to be the person we are, especially amid a crisis that we're dealing with right now. This may or may not change your identity. So we thought we would give you an opportunity to delve into that a bit. To get us started, let's look at what psychologists say about identity. So some psychologists feel that most of our identity comes from our nature. So nature would be that genetic inheritance and other biological factors. So exactly what you learned in biology this year about genetics, your recessive, your dominant genes, determines your eye color, your hair color, even things like if your earlobe is attached to your head or not. So that is the genetic inheritance. So your parents came together, their genes formed you, and how much of your identity stems from your genetics. The other side would be nurture. So that would be influences of external factors, so life experiences, the learnings we have. So beyond my genetics that my parents gave me, how did they raise me? How do people around me treat me? Where have I lived? What experiences have I gone through? What learning opportunities have I been afforded? So all of that also affects us. So I'm going to start with myself and show you a couple family pictures. The first family picture, yes, it does look a tad old. Please forgive me. This is my father and my mother, my lovely older sister. We actually really got along well. And this is me. Oh, I know. Okay, so back to genetics. So you can't really see it as well because of the picture. It's a picture of a picture. But my father had very dark hair, dark eyes, pretty broad face. While my mother had lighter hair. She actually has blue eyes and her face is much more like oval shape. And then my sister and I, of course, as babies, had a lot of growing to do. So I don't know that you can decide our genetics based on that or how we were going to turn out. Here's a little bit more of a recent picture of my father. When the Royals won the World Series in 1985, he was an avid Royals fan. He not only went down to the parade, but he managed to shove his way in it. Yes, this is a cardinal hanging on a stick because we beat the St. Louis Cardinals to win the World Series. But you can see here definitely that his features are very dark, very heavy, tan skin, so on and so forth. Now let's take a look at a picture of myself and my mother. So here you can see my features definitely seem to be following along with my dad. I have the dark hair, I have the dark eyebrows, I have the tanner skin, whereas my mother is much lighter. She has blonde hair and she does have blue eyes. So genetically, I took after my dad more. So my identity might therefore be more suited to follow my father. But so many more things go into that, such as my father had a very quick temper. It took very little to anger him. My mother, on the other hand, had kind of that slow burn temper where you could kind of push her buttons for a while and then whoops, you went too far. Now, as an adult, I've found I'm much more like my father, that I have a quick temper but would quickly get over it. Whereas my mother, she might have held a grudge a little bit longer. So genetics, maybe. Maybe more nurture, could be. So let's take a look at something outside of that. Let's see if I can make this screen a little bit bigger. All right, there we go. So let's take a look at some of my best friends. Let's see, here we go. Anybody ever heard about how pit bulls are dangerous and sometimes cities actually outlaw that you can own one? Yeah, I own one. Here we go. Hi, Mavis. Can you say hi to the camera? There we go. There's my pretty girl. So Mavis is a Shar-Pei pit mix. And nature, can you lift up your head a little more? Nature would say that perhaps she is vicious. Look at that face. What could be vicious about that? So I would say it's not in the genetics of the dog to be vicious. It is more in the environment that the dog is placed in, whether the dog is going to be vicious or not. Now, we're going to think about ourselves, and you're going to have a quick video to watch, a couple articles to read, and then consider your identity and how is your identity formed? How is it changing? What do you think about the nature versus nurture argument? So thank you so much for tuning in this week. We're thrilled to see the work that you're doing, and we just want you to stay safe, wash your hands, and take care.